Just before Game 1 between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks at Chase Field, an unexpected report created a wave of concern around one of baseball's biggest stars, Shohei Ohtani. According to the report, the Dodgers were allegedly warned about a strategy that went beyond normal baseball tactics. The claim suggested that people near the Diamondbacks' practice area had heard discussions about using aggressive physical contact to disrupt Ohtani if he repeatedly reached base. The report quickly attracted attention because of the potential consequences involved. Ohtani is not only one of the Dodgers' most dangerous hitters, but he is also working toward returning to the mound as a two-way player. Any unnecessary physical incident involving him could potentially affect multiple parts of his game. Now, it is completely normal for an opposing team to create a detailed strategy specifically designed to contain Shohei Ohtani. In fact, every team facing him has to do exactly that. Ohtani can change a game with one swing, create pressure on the bases, and punish mistakes that other hitters might not be able to capitalize on. Pitchers can attack him with carefully designed pitch sequences. They can use breaking balls away from the strike zone, change speeds, and avoid leaving fastballs in areas where Ohtani can extend his swing and generate maximum power. Defenses can also adjust their positioning, monitor his lead at first base, and use pickoff attempts to prevent him from taking an extra base. All of those tactics are legitimate parts of baseball. However, the report in question alleged that some discussions may have gone beyond ordinary competitive strategy. The claim suggested that if Ohtani reached base, players could potentially be encouraged to use aggressive contact to disrupt his rhythm. Geraldo Perdomo was reportedly mentioned in connection with those situations. However, it is important to emphasize that these claims were reported allegations, not established facts. There has been no reason to treat an accusation as proof without an official investigation or confirmation from Major League Baseball. That distinction matters because baseball is naturally a physical sport. Runners and fielders can collide during legitimate plays. A runner may slide hard into a base. An infielder may attempt to complete a double play while protecting his position. A fielder may have to apply a quick tag while a runner is moving at full speed. These situations can produce serious contact without anyone intentionally trying to hurt another player. The critical issue is intent. If contact happens naturally during a legitimate baseball play, it is part of the competition. But if someone were deliberately instructed to injure an opponent, that would be an entirely different matter and would raise serious questions about sportsmanship and player safety. For the Dodgers, the situation would be especially concerning because of Ohtani's unique role. Unlike most players, Ohtani provides enormous value both offensively and as a pitcher. His lower body is extremely important to his hitting mechanics because generating power requires coordination between his legs, hips, core, and upper body. A significant injury could therefore affect much more than his ability to run the bases. At the same time, his return to pitching makes player safety even more important. The Dodgers have been carefully managing Ohtani's progression as he works toward pitching again. According to reports, the organization remains optimistic about his eventual return to the mound, with throwing progression being an important part of that process. That means the Dodgers cannot simply ask whether Ohtani is healthy enough to play today. They also have to think about whether his body will be ready to handle the workload required to pitch at a major league level later in the season. A pitching comeback normally requires a gradual progression. It can begin with simple throwing sessions designed to rebuild comfort and throwing mechanics. From there, the workload can increase through longer distance throwing and bullpen work. Eventually, the pitcher may progress toward facing hitters and controlled game situations before being trusted with a full competitive appearance. For Ohtani, every stage of that process matters. Even if he is medically cleared to pitch, the Dodgers may not immediately ask him to operate like a traditional starter, throwing 6 or 7 innings. Instead, manager Dave Roberts could have several strategic options available. One possibility would be a short start approach. Ohtani could begin a game and pitch only a limited number of innings before another pitcher takes over. This would allow the Dodgers to use his ability on the mound without immediately placing a massive workload on his arm. And there is another major advantage. Imagine an opposing lineup spending days preparing for Ohtani's fastball and breaking pitches, only to face a completely different pitcher a few innings later. That change in pitching style could force hitters to make adjustments much earlier than they normally would. The Dodgers' pitching depth could make such a strategy even more interesting. With multiple quality starters available or working toward returns, Los Angeles could potentially have enough arms to divide the workload in creative ways. A pitcher who normally starts could potentially cover several innings after Ohtani, while another pitcher could be used in a later matchup. The postseason makes this even more important. During October, managers rarely rely on rigid regular season strategies. Bullpens become more aggressive, starters can be removed earlier, and pitchers with elite stuff can be used in situations that would be unusual during a normal week in the regular season. That creates another fascinating possibility for Ohtani: a relief appearance. If the Dodgers eventually decide that Ohtani is better suited for a short outing, he could potentially be used for 1 or 2 high-leverage innings. In theory, that would allow him to attack hitters aggressively, without worrying about conserving energy for a long start. For now though, the priority remains simple: keep Ohtani healthy, continue his progression carefully, and let the results on the field, not dangerous tactics, decide the outcome. What do you think? If Ohtani returns to pitching before the postseason, should the Dodgers use him as a traditional starter, a short starter, or a high-leverage